This is the Egg Density Lab Part 3. We're about to find the density of the salt water with 20 grams of salt using a 40 milliliter sample. Just a little bit more. Okay, the balance is already zeroed, so this is the mass of 40 milliliters of salt water that has 20 grams of salt. Okay, we're going to pour that back in here. We're going to add 10 more grams of salt. So now we have a total of 30 grams of salt in this beaker. We have to stir it to make sure all the salt dissolves. Okay, we're going to put the egg into this solution so you can make your observations. And it looks a little different, but remember you're just answering the question, does it float, yes or no? So I'm going to remove the egg now, and we're going to find the density of this saltwater solution. Again, we're using a 40 milliliter sample, and the balance has already been zeroed to subtract the mass of the graduated cylinder. A little bit too much. Okay. So that is the mass of salt water with 30 grams of salt. Next, we're going to put that back in here. We're going to add 10 more grams of salt. We're going to stir that until all the salt has dissolved to make a solution. Right now it would be called a suspension because not all the salt is dissolved. Okay, we're going to put the egg in so you can make your observations. Remember, this is with 40 grams of salt. It will get a little harder to see as the solution gets more cloudy. Okay, so make your observation. Does it float, yes or no? I'm going to remove the egg. And again, we're going to find the density of this saltwater solution. You already know we're going to use a 40 milliliter sample. So we just have to find the mass. A little bit more. Okay. So that is your mass of the salt water with 40 grams of salt. We're going to dump that back in here. We're going to add 10 more grams of salt. So this is a saltwater solution with 50 grams of salt. We're going to put the egg inside of this solution. This is 50 grams. You're going to make your observations. Does it float? It's a little bit harder to see. You can definitely spot a difference. Would you say it's floating, yes or no? We're going to remove the egg.
Oh, no students up here, just teachers. Whoa.
Again, we're going to find the mass of 40 milliliters of this solution. Let's see. We're almost there. We just need a little more. A little bit too much. I'm just going to remove just a drop or two. Okay, so here is your mass of 50-gram saltwater solution.